Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video, and today I'm gonna be going over and just talking about the biggest mistakes that I've made in my little over 4 years of being an entrepreneur, and giving you those so that maybe it can help you out so you don't make those same mistakes. So if you guys are new to who it is that I am, my name is Elliot Drake. I'm a serial entrepreneur, and my big focus right now and basically in my life is, I have my marketing agency where, we service lots of clients. And then I also have my education business called LaneClients.com, where we've had multiple success students where we've helped them scale to that six-figure mark, 26 of them to be exact, in the last 8 months since we've started this company. And it's a big passion of mine. My main goal and what I've realized is that I want to help reform the educational system and help people get to where they want to be through the different skills and things that I have built, right? And that's, how to build an online business, specifically, in a marketing agency, and how to build like a coaching and consulting business. And so that's what the power, and that's kind of where our mission is, and that's LaneClients.com. I have a lot of new partners in there, a lot of amazing things that are about to happen. I know a lot of you guys are familiar with the Accelerator, and you guys are in it, and you guys have loved it. But we're actually working on 2.0 right now, which is it's going to be absolutely insane. So anyways, let's get into this video. So I would say the first thing that I would say is the biggest mistake that I had starting out and I learned from was thinking I know everything. And what do I mean by that? It's being kind of arrogant, a little bit cocky, and thinking that I know everything when I really don't, right? And that caused burning relationships and making mistakes and being blind with different things, right? Thinking that, I knew just everything about business, right? Thinking I knew stuff, and I wouldn't take advice, and I thought I knew everything. And so that was one big mistake that I made. And you don't know what you don't know, right? And so being open to criticism, being open to learning new things, being open to taking advice from other people is really, really important, and something that you have to do, right? So even Bill Gates and Warren Buffett, they've even talked about how they're continuing to learn, right? These guys are, the richest people in the world, and they are still saying that they have to learn and they have to grow. So that is one piece of advice, and something that I learned early on was that you really don't know everything, and be able to take advice from, anybody, right? Everybody has a different outlook on the world. Everybody has different experiences and different just ways of seeing things, and you can learn stuff from everybody, right? Be cautious on who you actually take advice from, but you can take pieces of different people's advice. So there's so many people trying to push advice on you all the time, and I think that it's important to find a select cluster of people that you really respect and they're where you want to be, and then internalizing their advice. But then other people that try to give you advice, especially because social media, everybody wants to tell you what to do, finding where they are and figuring out how does this make sense for you, and how can you apply it to your own life and in your business, okay? And the second thing that's the first thing, right? So be open to advice, and really just learning from a couple people that, find people that are where you're at, where you want to be, and then, modeling them and taking in their advice. And then other people that give you advice, take it with a grain of salt and try to understand it from their perspective. But how does that apply to me, and how might it be different? Start to get really good at filtering information and then finding the pieces that actually make sense and do apply to where you're at, because not all advice is good advice, right? So I'd say number 2, and this is specifically in my business, is I was offering way too many services, and I was offering them to a lot of people. And what I mean by this is that, when I first started, right, my marketing agency, I was doing literally everything. I was just money hungry, not money hungry, but I thought that the more things that I offered to my customers and my clients were what would make me more money. But it all sounds well and good, but once you start scaling, it doesn't work out like that, right? You get jumbled up, and things get neglected. And so it hurts your ability to scale versus helps your ability to scale, right? So my piece of advice and something that really impacted my business and I took things to a whole new level was whenever I cut out all of the baggage and started offering services to a smaller group of people. I started offering less services that got the most amount of impact and got like the biggest results for our clients, because the client only cares about the result. They don't care about anything else, right? In any business, right? They want the outcome, right? They want the result. They want to go from where they're at to where they desire to be in whatever facet that is, right? Like, the economy ticks on everybody waking up each day and trying to buy a version of their desired self. So it's the same thing for really any business. So they only care about the result. Find the things that get that specific person the biggest result and focus on those and scale from there. Because if you offer way too many things, it's just going to be so hard to scale because you're trying to do too many things. You can't build a system, you can't build a process around that one thing and get really, really, really good at that one thing, okay? So start to do that in your business, start to do that in your life as well. Figure out where's the noise, what is the noise and what is the signal, and then focus on those things, okay? So that is that one. And then I would say the next one is going into business with the wrong people, right? Luckily, I haven't gotten screwed too hard, but I've wasted a lot of time. So a lot of people, they want to go into business with someone else, whether it's because they're not, confident in what they're doing or the other person brings a lot of value, right? And so my piece of advice there is, be very selective and be cautious on who you go into business with, okay? Everyone needs to pull their load, and the last thing that you want is, because a partnership sounds all well and good whenever you first start to go into it, first start talking about it, but whenever things hit the fan and say, you're doing all the work, you pull all the value and, everything, and you're still cutting this person in, right? It starts to be bad, and it's bad for the culture and things like that, right? Because one thing also that I've realized is that culture within a company and the mission and where everyone's at, everyone needs to be on the same page, especially at the leadership side, right? The people at the top, if you run the company and you have employees and people there, you set the tone and you set everything for the whole direction of the company, right? So if you're not bought in, if you're not into it, right? If you don't have really the expertise and you're not motivating and pushing towards that vision, no one else is, and it's going to crumble your company, okay? So make sure, be really smart on who you go into business with, and just, really just be smart with it. When you go into business, always have different operating agreements and legal agreements that make sense to where you're able to get out of those partnerships if people aren't pulling the load, if people, if anything could happen, right? Always in a business partnership, prepare for the worst, even though you don't want to. Even though you don't want to really think about that, it's always smart to prepare for the worst and build, protect yourself, okay? I'm just telling you guys there. So I would say the last thing is that I was trying, this is kind of on a personal thing on business. I was trying to do too much. I was trying to do way too many things on my own and didn't see the value in a team and hiring and everything. It's kind of just personally too, but just doing way too much, trying to start all these different businesses, trying to just basically do everything on my own, which really bogged me down. And so whenever you try to do too much, it's hard to scale, but also it's bad for your clients and it's horrible for your business. If you're actually at the scaling point, I know a lot of you guys are just starting out, so it's just a one-man show, and that's fine, right? But as you start to get more clients, as you start to scale, find those things that are not worth your time, because you just really need to only focus on, as a leader and as the business owner, right? Your job, you only focus on what's the most important. And then also finding, as one thing I've realized is that my job is not to do everything in the company or be the best at everything, right? My job is to find people and put people in the positions where they're best and most likely to succeed, and me only focus on what I'm good at and the most important things, right? So that's the piece of advice I have for you, is to focus on one thing and don't have shiny object syndrome. Don't add all these different things on, because one facet is going to suffer. even in your personal life. Like if you're trying to do way too much, it is going to affect a lot, right? It really is. So just like really find like what is wasting your time and what isn't, and just focus on those couple things. And then the last thing, and I'm going to end with this, excuse me, is like I would try to hustle, and I thought that, I work really, really hard, right? I work really hard already, but I took it to a little bit of an extreme for a while, and it affected my life and it affected my business, right? Because like our health, without like health and good relationships with family and friends and all that, like what are you really working towards? Like you can have all the money in the world, but if you don't have your health, then it's what are you working for? If you don't give the time to your loved ones, if you don't impact the world and make a difference and care about your customers and do a lot of that stuff, nothing else is important, right? So just like money is important, yes, because it's a tool to make impact and it adds security and it helps your family, but find something that you love and work towards a bigger vision, right? And have people around you that also see that vision. And whenever you as the leader, if you have a big enough vision and a big enough cause, other people are going to come in and want to help you, okay? So yeah, that's basically it. Like for instance, like what I said was, I was trying to hustle and I worked so much to where like I wouldn't eat. That's one thing I also still struggle with right now, to be honest, is I forget to eat whenever I'm working. So what I've done is, I'm finding ways to make it easier for me to work, like packing my lunch and, having meals sent to where like they're already there and I don't have to do anything. Because when I get laser focused, it's hard, right? But I wouldn't go to the gym because I would just be like, oh, I just gotta work. And, I wouldn't eat very much, right? And like just all those different things would affect my whole life. And so if like with my health and like also sleep, I wouldn't get enough sleep, right? People tell you like not to get a lot of sleep, but sleep is so important for you to be able to function at a high level. Like if you don't have sleep, like it's scientifically backed that you cannot perform on a high level. Your brain is not all the way there, okay? So focus on your health and your sleep, and then, cut out other things that aren't necessary in your personal life, because, the way you are, like you're 100% responsible for everything that's happening in your life right now. So if you aren't taking care of your body and you aren't doing that, it's going to pour over and affect your business and affect the, how the customers and everything. So it affects all of it. So that's it for this video, guys. I hope this helped. If you guys are new to the channel, please smash that subscribe button. I really want to grow this. Hit that thumbs up, show your love, comment down below what you guys are struggling with, maybe some mistakes you've had, what you thought, right? Just comment down below. I want to talk to you. I want to be able to help you. Like that is my mission, okay? So comment that stuff down below, and also turn on those notifications. I'm going to try to start posting a lot more recently and grow this thing. So thank you guys once again. This has been Elliot Drake. I look forward to seeing you guys in the next ones.